Hello everybody and welcome to day 13 of the Halloween Journal Challenge 2023 hosted by Kia Creates. My name is Grace, aka ms.paperlover, and today's prompt is Poison Garden. Now, I've only very recently started in this new journal that I made, which is a Magic Forest themed journal, and I had this double page spread which I knew would be perfect for this prompt. It has the bottles and flowers on one side, and then like the mushrooms and kind of like poisonous looking plants on the other, and I saved it for this because I knew I had to use it. And then I also just went through my stash, particularly my Halloween stash, picking out bits and pieces that I thought would be absolutely perfect for this prompt. This paper pad in particular I thought had some things that were like, yes, creepy, poison, but also floral at the same time. This will work nicely. I also went through some of my sticker books. I'm sure many of you will be familiar with these antiquarian sticker books and some of the other ones as well, like the Sticker Studio and the Blooming sticker books. Just going through and trying to find bits and pieces that I thought would match, and also kind of flicking through the ones that I really thought would match to familiarise myself and remember what was in the book and how many things may or may not match the theme I'm going for. But a lot of those antiquarian sticker books, they do tend to have this slightly weird and creepy vibe to them. So I thought I would be able to use at least some of those. So what I do is I go through and I pull out a sticker and then I just stick it on the side on something non-sticky, like a pen pot or something. So it's there and I remember to use it, but it's not being stuck down on anything. Then I pulled out this clear sort of acetate packaging which came from a pack of stickers, and I knew I just wanted to include this somehow. I kind of had to cut it down a little bit to fit the size, and obviously I really wanted to get rid of where it has like labeling on it. I did think about covering it up with stickers or washi or whatever, but decided instead to actually cut them out, and then I'm actually going to turn the whole thing into a shaker pocket. Please excuse the top of my head sticking in there. Regulars to my channel will know it does creep in occasionally when I'm doing something I really have to concentrate on, like cutting or writing or whatever, because I forget that there's a camera above my head, and there we go. Going through some stuff here, had some cute like little potions bottles. That was all from a pink paisley collection. I think it was called Spellcast, but it came out in like 2017, so unlikely to be able to get any of it now. But anyway, here I am making a little shaker pocket. I'm going to back that little piece of acetate that has been sort of slightly cut out with this really pretty vellum that's got like the spooky crow or raven, or I never remember how to tell the difference. I've added red line tape to all four sides, but only removed the backing on three sides so I can fill the pocket with things. I'm going for various dried flowers or pressed flowers that I had lying around. I thought those would look really nice. And then I'm also going to add some sequins, any sequins that I thought were kind of vaguely kind of spooky but also pretty to go with the garden theme as well. So I pulled out these. They're all Spiegelmum scrap sequins, I think, which I've had for a very long time. I don't use sequins very often in my journaling and crafting, but here we go, picking out the ones that, you know, I just thought they matched the whole colour greens and purples of these pages. I did go back and add a few more dried flowers to that as well. I know what I'm like, and I will get distracted by making things spooky and creepy, so I wanted to get as many florals down as possible so we could stick with the theme of Poison Garden. So that's what I was trying to do there. And then when I was eventually happy with all the dried flowers and sequins in that little pocket, taking off that last strip or last backing strip of red line tape to seal the little pocket. I will go back and do some more things to that little pocket acetate page, but the way my mind works with journaling, I think I call it magpie journaling. Like I'll be halfway through one thing and then something else distracts me, something shiny over there, and I'm like, oh, I'm going to do this instead. And then I get bored of that piece and then I go do something else. And it's very bits and pieces the way my journaling works. I can never just do one page at a time. Anyway, that lovely ribbon with the I can't remember the word for it, but it's got the textured pattern on it. I thought I would make a little pocket out of that. Those little bottles that match the ones on the opposite side of the page. These are all printables from Ink and Page. I used a lot of these to make this journal. I thought I would cut it out and then have just some little poisony bottles on the front of my pocket. And what I will do with that is stitch them on, and I wanted to add a little border or something, so I put this washi tape down on some craft paper. I thought if I just put the washi straight down, it's going to get all weird and wrinkly, so I put it down on some paper or cardstock, I'm not sure, and then cut it, and then, as I said, everything will get sewn down later. This beautiful material I picked up recently from the range in their Halloween section. It's like a organza tulle material with this really delicate gold glitter spiderweb pattern. I love it so much. It's so pretty. I had to include it. I didn't know exactly what I was going to do with it, but it was just too pretty to not include. Now, while I make this little shelf on that page full of little jars of poison and things, there are some like little questions and tag questions that are included with this prompt for the YouTube creators to answer. So I will answer a few of them as we go through. So what do we have here? Favorite thing about autumn/Halloween? When it comes to Halloween is I like creepy stuff, so all the shops are filled with the things that I use for my home decor throughout the year, so that's one of my favourite things. Secondly, I don't do well in summer, I don't do well in heat, so that, you know, you get that one day when you feel that autumn crisp in the air and you're just like, oh, I can put a hoodie on and fluffy socks and get in a blanket. Finally, the heat is going. It's just that moment of, oh, wonderful. Next is any autumn or Halloween traditions growing up. No, not really. Anyone who's my age, which, you know, 30 something, and in the UK will know that when we were kids, Halloween in the UK wasn't really that much of a thing. Like, just not as big as it was in the States, and it still isn't as big as it is in the States, but it's getting there. Also, I grew up in a church-going family who did not approve of Halloween. They've mellowed out now. They're not like that. They don't have those views so much anymore, but trick-or-treating, doing something for Halloween was like a big no-no. So the only autumn tradition was going back to school, really. Just to explain what I'm doing here, I wanted to have some writing on that page there, so I found some from Wikipedia Commons, I think it was, just like a really old book about poison plants. So I am doing little sketches of the plants, bad sketches, I will say, just little rough sketches of the plants and just picking out little words here and there, kind of making it look like someone's little field notes book about poison plants, or, you know, something like that. Or, and oh my goodness, I hate saying this word. Does anybody have a word that they always struggle to say no matter what? Mine is this word. Let me apothecary. Okay, there, I did it. That word, like that person's notebook. That's the kind of vibe I was going for. If you actually read it, it doesn't make a whole lot of sense. And there was one bit I left out because it was about testing on cats and it really upset me. So I've just picked and choose. That doesn't sound right, but you know what I mean. I just picked random bits to put in, and there we go. After that, I'm going to do some more work on the acetate page, where I did add some washi. I don't think I did that on camera, to the top and bottom to hide some of the way you could see the tape under the acetate. I am scoring these 2 strips of paper because I'm going to use those to tip the page in, which you will see how I do that later. And then I wanted to decorate the whole thing with various stickers and ephemera and bits and pieces I've found. And I also added a lot of transfer stickers on around. I kind of wanted florals scattered everywhere, but also kind of spooky things. Like that skull there is from one of my own sticker sheets from my shop. I think it's from the Gothic Halloween collection. And then there was this lovely washi tape with books on to go for the whole, oh, gotta say it again, apothecary, that thing, vibe. That is a prompt later on, I think, in the challenge, so I really hope I'm not like treading on anyone's toes there, but Poison Garden kind of lended itself to that, so that's what I'm going for. So the next question is, what called out to you about this prompt? Like, what did it make you think of? How did your initial ideas about the prompt compare to the page you created? I'm going to be honest, the way it often works with these YouTube collabs and things is it's first come, first serves on the prompt. So this was not my first choice. I think my first choice is actually Tomorrow's that Meg Journals has. But anyway, I still liked the idea of this one. It was slightly different, like not too, oh my goodness, the bells are going off. FYI, I live right next to a very old church, and bell practice happens very sporadically, so if you can hear them, I'm sorry, but hopefully they're not too bad. Maybe they will add to the spooky atmosphere. Anyway, yes, I love spooky stuff, and I love flowers and any kind of floral, so I thought adding the 2 things together would work really well for me. As for initial, oh, quickly, I'm showing you my stitching here and how I stitched those scored pieces onto that whole collection with the acetate and the spiderweb fabric, and I'm going to glue it down straight down in the center. I decided to use a liquid glue because if I used a tape, I wouldn't have any time for like adjustment if I got it wrong, so that's why I went with a liquid glue, and then also adding in my pocket like that. I don't ever film when I'm over at the sewing machine because there's bad lighting over there and it's not really very interesting to watch anyway. And then I'm going to work on these journaling cards that I pulled out of that 12 by 12 paper pad. Back them, make them pretty, and add some journaling on them. So I've pretty much answered about the Poison Garden prompt. Did it end up like I imagined? I don't know, really. I never really plan anything anyway. If I plan something, it always goes wrong and starts and looks terrible. So I never plan anything. So then we have some this or that questions. The first is cozy autumnal aesthetic or spooky Halloween? Kind of both, really. I love both, but if I had to choose, it would be spooky Halloween. But to be clear, it has to be spooky, creepy Halloween. I hate cutesy Halloween. If you're mixing orange and purple and like that lime green colour and little cutesy Halloween, no, I like creepy stuff. No hate to anyone who likes cutesy, that's fine, that's just my personal thing. I like it creepy. Then pumpkin spice latte or hot chocolate? Pumpkin spice latte, I'm afraid. Just, I prefer it. I don't dislike hot chocolate, I just don't particularly care about it. Does that make any sense? I'd much rather have a PSL that I have to have half a pump because otherwise it's just way too sweet. I will have to miss out a couple of questions just for timing reasons, but feel free, by the way, to answer them in the comments yourselves, your favourite things, or this or that, or the earlier thing about like traditions and that. What do we have next? Pumpkin carving or pumpkin painting? I've never painted a pumpkin in my life, so I don't know, and I've only ever carved one. Again, wasn't really a tradition when I was growing up, so I've carved one pumpkin and it was pretty good, I will say. So I suppose I'll have to say carving. Next is spooky movie or spooky book. Book, and I'll tell you for why. I hate jump scares. I love creepy things. I love reading scary stories, but I hate jump scares, which have to be in every single scary movie. So there we go. If I want to watch a scary movie, I will watch like the first 10 minutes and then read the plot on Wikipedia. I really hope you can hear that bell tolling as I talk about spooky things, because that's just like almost as if I did it on purpose. That's amazing. Oh, I just listened back and I don't think you can hear it. Damn it. These stickers, by the way, little plug, are my stickers, little mushroom stickers. Thought they would be cute for the Poison Garden theme. Next question, black cats or bats? I have a black cat who I love more than anything, so obviously I have to say black cats, but bats are also freaking awesome. And the last one is haunted house or pumpkin patch. I don't think I've ever been to either, apart from like a gimmicky haunted house, which I hate because aforementioned jump scares. If it was like a genuinely haunted house, I don't know. Supposedly the house next door is haunted, but I can't find any information about that, and it intrigues me, though I'd probably be too much of a wimp to go in there myself. Do you know what I mean? So I'll say pumpkin patch to be safe. Again, I like the aesthetic of creepy things, but when it comes to them IRL, probably not so much. Like, I'm a scholar. I like to know the things, I like the knowledge, I like to read about things, but I'm not getting involved practically. No, 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 thank you. None of that. Anyway, just adding the final bits here, I added some more transfer stickers of flowers to make it more gardeny, but also they look like kind of dried flowers, so they look a little bit more spooky, I suppose. I think I need a better word for that. And then I also used a Stabilo All Pencil in brown to just highlight some of the features on this page here with the bottles and flowers. I pulled out these Tim Holtz Halloween rub-ons, and I didn't realise I was doing it at first, but then I realised the way I've put them on makes them look like labels on the bottle, but then the one on the top bottle doesn't fit. So I used the pencil to make the bottle look wider than it is, and now the label looks like it fits. So just a little hack there. And I'm not sure, I think we're pretty much close to the end. So there we go. Thank you so much for watching. Here are my Poison Garden pages. Hope I've done the prompt some justice. I mostly just had fun creating with my favourite things, spooky things and flowers. Yay! Anyways, make sure to check out the playlist if you're new to this prompt challenge and, you know, watch everybody else's videos. We're halfway through the month now, so plenty to watch beforehand, but still enough time to catch up, I feel like. Huge thank you to Kia Creates for organising all of this, and thank you to you, of course, for watching. Please leave me a thumbs up, chat to me in the comments, as I said, answer any of those Halloweeny autumn questions if you like to let me know about you. And yeah, I think that's it. Thank you so much again. Bye bye!